Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you figure of speech, which is very essential part of the literature, especially uh, when we go through the poem. These things are very essential to know for every students, because these things not only tell us how to express our views in words, but also it also enhance our ideas and way of writing. So let us start. Figure of speech. The first question which come in our mind: what is figure of speech and why it's essential to use it? A figure of speech is a departure from ordinary form of expression to extraordinary course of ideas in order to produce a greater effect. It means what? Through this figure of speech, when we use it in our writing, it's give more and more impact on the reader's mind who read these things. One more thing, the figure of speech which used in other poems or the chapters, how we know them, because in so many times, even in examination, from some lines asked by the questionnaire, which figure of speech is mentioned or used in these lines. So for that purpose, we have to go through this. The first figure of speech which we are going to explain here is simile. As you have read in earlier classes also, simile is a figure of speech in which two different objects are compared. However, they are at least one point in common, and the comparison is shown with the word as and like. It means what? The comparison is made between two different objects, not the same type of object, two different objects, and in both the different objects there is one point which is common in both the things. For example, she is lovely as a rose. Now see, here I have compared with the girl to rose, and I use the word as which compare both the she and the rose. And the one thing which is we found common in both the things is lovely or beautiful. Means rose is also lovely and she is also lovely. So this is one example. In another example, Rana Pratap was brave like a lion. Rana Pratap was brave, means a lion have the braveness, and Rana Pratap was also a brave. Means brave is the common point in both of them. So this is simile. In the same way, we come to the second figure of speech, and that is metaphor. Metaphor is unemployed condensed simile, or it's a condensed form of simile in which comparison is made between two different objects, and it's shown without the use of such words as, like, as, so. For example, means in this figure of speech, again we compare the two different things, but here the difference between metaphor and simile is this, that there is no common point in both different things, whereas in simile there is one common point. Here nothing is common between both the things. For example, camel is the ship of desert. Though there is nothing common between the camel and the desert, still here the writer compared camel with the ship, as the camel walk in desert in the same way the ship is walking or sail in sea. Means the camel is so smoothly running and walking in desert as the ship is in water. In the second example, Shivaji was the Peshwa of Maratha dynasty. Again here, Shivaji was the Peshwa of Maratha dynasty. Again, there is no comparison word or comparative word used in this. So it's also a metaphor. The third one is personification. In personification, inanimate objects and abstract notions are spoken of as having life and intelligence, and with human feelings and sensitivities. For example, a lie has no legs. Death lays his icy hands on king's head. Now here personification is what? Inanimate, जिसमें जीवन ना हो, and abstract idea or something which is lifeless. If we want to show some non-living things as a living things, we have to put some human quality in that. Here put means not we give those qualities, it's never be possible, but we have to treat like that through our words, that it seems that does that thing also have the feeling, is also a human characteristics. In another example, if I'll ask, if you have read a poem Phul Ki Abhilasha, in that also the poet put the feeling of a human being. The flower never be tell anything to anyone, but the human, the author, the poet put some qualities of a human into that flower and write down a beautiful poem. In the same way, here the example which I have used here, a lie has no legs. Lie means jhoot, has no legs. What I have do? I use the word legs for the lie. So I personified the lie. The lie is an abstract thing. In the same way, death lays his icy hands on king's head. Death have never been hands. But I personified the death as he have the hands and the king is going to be die with the death or with some problem. Now the next figure of speech which we are going to explain here is hyperbole. In hyperbole, a statement is made emphatic by overstatement. In this figure, a statement is accelerated or overstated to an incredible degree to put maximum effect on reader's mind. For example, rivers of blood flowed on the battlefield. And the second example is floods of tears flowed down her cheeks. Here the spelling of down is wrong, so please correct it. D-O-W-N, down. Now here in hyperbole, what is hyperbole? Exaggeration, या हिंदी में इसको अतिशयोक्ति अलंकार भी कहा जाता है. In hyperbole, maximum, the writers or the author try to put the maximum effect on the reader's mind. So they use such type of sentences or the words which give or change the normal statement into overstatement, or it's take the incredible degree or exaggerate the things so that it gives the maximum effect on the minds. Like in the first example, rivers of blood, it's never be possible that due to the blood a river start floating. But here, to put the maximum effect on the reader's mind, the author used the word rivers of blood flowed on the battlefield. Means there are so much people who are killed and murdered that there are a lot of blood. The whole field is full of the blood. In the same way, floods of tears flowed down her cheeks. In the second example again, how it possible that someone is so much crying that flood of tears is flowed down? It's never be, but it's given maximum impact on our mind that she was so much cry, she was so much what we call sad. So the author used this figure of speech. Now the next is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is another beautiful example of a figure of speech in which onomatopoeia, this is the name given to that artifice of language by which sound of words is made to suggest or echo the sense. For example, snakes are hissing, not missing, sorry, there is a mistake. Snakes are hissing and the bees are buzzing. In the same way, murmurous haunt of flies on summer eve. Here, in another word, I'll try to explain it in a normal word. Onomatopoeia means the words which explain themselves by their own pronunciation. Like if I say or ask the word hissing, already a movie has made up on the word hiss, which automatically bring our attention towards the snake. As we listen the word or read the word buzzing, bunbunana, the bees exactly indicate the bees. In the same way, murmurous haunt of flies, murmurous murmuring sound created by the flies, mostly in summer days. So the words which explain their meaning by their own pronunciation, such type of words are called the onomatopoeia. In the same type of words, one more words which I like to add in onomatopoeia, the crawling. The crowd means when there's so many things crawling, ringna, and so many things which crawled. So this is also a word which signifies its meaning by its own. The next one is apostrophe. An apostrophe is a direct address to the dead, absent, or absent person